What is up, guys? Teddy Cornwell here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk. Something about the Underdog. Today we have the CEO and one of the minds behind Invisible Force on the Underdog Talk. Now, James, I've been thinking about this all day. I have to ask you, brother, how old are you, man?
I'm only 19 years old. Yes.
James, you may be the youngest CEO. You are the youngest CEO I've had on the show. Now, James, you might be the youngest CEO, period. So, James, what the hell? You are 19 years old, man, and you are a CEO.
Yeah.
Hey, you did something right. And gentlemen, I just want to start this interview because to be honest, I have so many damn questions. And James, clearly you are passionate about sports nutrition. When did you first fall in love with, sports nutrition?
It's always kind of been a really big passion for me. I've played sports my whole life, and I've just always loved the atmosphere within the sports nutrition. I fell into the love of the nutrition aspect of it and really starting to weightlift probably 4 years ago. And I was researching a lot about what's the best supplements to take. There's a lot of research, there's a lot of products. It's really hard to, know what's best for your body and what you need to do. And just got some good opportunities kind of thrown at me and wanted to pursue it. And I really love, helping people out. And that's really what my main goal is for this company, is just to help everyone out and, bring this product to everyone, let them all try it.
And James, I think you are helping people out because you bring a new nutrition technology to the industry. And, you talk about how it's vastly superior to traditional muscle building supplements. Would you mind talking, and, Mark, you can add on to this. Would you mind talking about why this product is different from other products?
So this product it's really different because when the product was originally made, it was made for the burn victims that were lifting so hard and they could no longer build the muscle mass anymore. And when those studies were done, after the results came back, the studies actually showed that it was 3 times more effective than whey protein and 32 times more effective than BCAAs alone. And after that, it was like, we need to get this into sports nutrition like ASAP, because it's just building muscle out of the charts. Like it's crazy. So we're like, we need to get a company out of this right now with this formula. And so Mark and I got in contact and we instantly started working together to get this product out on the market. And we want to, we want everyone to try it out because this stuff it's no joke. It really works. And I've taken it for past couple months before we launched, and I've seen dramatic results and no bloating, no anything. It's great. So Mark, you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, I have and just so that you and your audience know, Teddy, I've been working with the technology since it was patented in around 2018. So I'm pretty familiar, though not super technical with it. And what James, just building on what James said a little bit, when he talks about burn victims, this, I think, and it's part, it might start a little rabbit trail for the conversation, because this technology was never envisioned to be a sports nutrition technology. This was created by Dr. Robert Wolf over about a 40-year journey to help his medical patients. And his medical patients in particular were severe burn victims and the elderly that were virtually immobile. So if you can imagine, if you're severely burned, you can't move, you can't stand, you can't sit. And so your muscles atrophy completely. Same thing with the immobile elderly. Now, he started out with whey protein and testing that. And then after 24 human clinical studies, he discovered and patented, which is rare in our industry, as you know, a real patent, some real disruption technology. He patented the exact ratios of the 9 essential amino acids that performed the best. And that's what he's been giving his patients. So we're not, as a company, Dr. Wolf was so focused on his patients, done a lot of publications and things like that. He's sort of the rock star of amino acid technology out there and research. And we said, gosh, we loved the fact that he did this to help his medical patients, but boy, couldn't athletes really benefit from this technology?
Wow. Huh. I had no idea about that. And I mean, is this something that Invisible Force is, alone in doing this? Or are you guys the first company to really start doing this? That's the question I have to ask.
Yeah, no, full transparency. There have been a couple of other companies out there licensing the technology. Now, where we are different is, and I'm not sure if you've ever tried a bad tasting EAA or BCAA. I mean, they're really nasty to taste. They're terrible. A lot of sulfur compounds. They taste horrible. So we've built on Dr. Wolf's patent with 2 pending patents. One is our product mixes clear like water, which is really unusual and purposeful. Secondly, it's a flavor patent as well to make. So it's these 3 combined. So if you went out and yes, you could buy another product out there. There's some very small companies who've sort of tried it. But even Dr. Wolf's patients, from what I understand, weren't wanting to take the product because it tasted so bad. So that was something that we had to address before we brought it to market.
And I think taste is key. I mean, you guys have a coastal berry and a tropical punch. I mean, that sounds damn good. I won't lie with you. I think another question I have to ask both of you, do you see your product being more effective than a whey protein isolate in terms of muscle building?
Well, there's actually no question about it. And we're not anti-whey. I've spent 25 years in the nutrition and sports nutrition industry. Whey is terrific. It's fantastic. And there's a place for it. But undisputed, there's a couple of big benefits. Number one, there's a protein test that you can just mathematically do. You don't have to have a lab. It's called the DIAAS. Stands for digestible indispensable amino acid score. That's impressive. I had to. I can never remember what it stands for. But if you go through and you do the math, as we've done, it scores about our products, Invisible Force, scores around a 3.2. Whey protein isolate scores about a 1.1, a 1.2. So it's not even close. And somebody with a calculator, somebody who is a skeptic, can go out and calculate that very easily by looking at the patent. Now, the other thing that's a huge benefit, or not, depending on what you're looking for, right? There's a whole business out there, and appropriately so, for slow digesting protein like casein. And whey itself takes about 1 to 3 hours to digest. Our product takes minutes. And that's not rocket science, right? BCAAs take minutes, other EAA products take minutes. But when you're taking an intra workout, when you're recovering, why wait 2 or 3 hours after your workout to start rebuilding? It just never made sense to us.
Get the muscle now better now than later. I like that approach. I won't lie to you, gentlemen. Now, right now, you have one product. And as I mentioned, with 2 pretty damn good flavors, Coastal Berry and Tropical Punch. So, James and Mark, I'm interested, where do you guys see Invisible Force down the line? I know that's a big question, so floor is yours. Where do you guys see it down the line?
Down the line, it's kind of a big shot right now because, we're just starting out and we've got a lot of ambitions of where we want to be down the road. Obviously we want to be, in retail down the road, selling, big. We're also focusing mainly on gyms, local gyms. We are focusing a lot on I don't know, when you go to gyms, I feel like a lot, it's hard. All you see is just vending machine products, you know. We really want to focus on the local area and expand from there into different states. And we're just all about helping out, you know, the local athletes and stuff right now. And then we want to expand to do that all around the globe.
And
We want
to but sorry to interrupt, James, but you know, Teddy, you're witnessing the birth of a company. I mean, James just launched about a month ago, so there's absolutely plans to expand the product. But let's be honest, new companies, it's not easy, especially when you're doing something different. It would actually be so much easier to walk in and say, "Hey, we've got a whey protein, some creatine, and BCAAs." Everyone knows what that is. But with our product, you have to explain it. And so while it's radically different, it's a huge disruptor, it does require an explanation, and there's going to be skeptics out there, and we're fine with that.
And let me add my 2 cents on this. As someone who's talked to some of the top brands, you know, in the world, and one in particular to me is Mr. Nick Stella of Rise Supplements. And something that Nick was talking to me about is how he almost, you know, how Rise, it took so long for Rise to be the brand they are now with our guy Noel Diesel. The time it took. These things do not happen overnight. These things take time, and you've got to trust the process. It takes time, and it takes time to have something that is successful. It does not happen overnight. So, I mean, guys, keep that attitude. And I mean, This is a show about underdogs, and that's why I love your brand. It is an underdog product because you guys, so many people don't know about this product yet. And I'm going to use the first word of your company, invisible. Right now, you guys are invisible, but you guys are still there. And I think that's something you need to remember. This company has so much potential. The skeptics will always be there in every attribute of life, and it's how you work with them. And now, James, I think that idea of going into a gym would be game-changing. I think it's not done before. I think there's been pre-workouts. I think there's been protein. But there has not been a product like yours in the gym. So that is very impressive to see. Now, do you eventually want to get into a GNC or vitamin shop?
possibly down the road. I think that there's always potential. We're always open to options. You know, you never know what something could lead you. So I think we're always open to options like that down the road. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would just say having been in involved in a ton of brands, you know, I'm the old guy, he's the young guy. There are pros and cons of going into traditional retail.
Yes.
And so I'm not going to disparage what they do, but it's a very, very different game to go into a national brick and mortar chain where you don't necessarily have the control you want. So when James set out his vision to me, it was very much looking for white space, which is exactly like you just said, Teddy. They might not have any supplements for sale other than, you know, some a vending machine or something like that. But the benefit of being in the gym is people believe they're trainers. And trainers, most of them aren't interested in pitching or shilling products, but they will tell you what they think. So for us, it's a perfect match with what we need.
And I think to add on to that, so right now, I want to know, you guys do have one product. And as I said, this is the third time, 2 beautiful flavors. Do you guys see yourself adding more products? Do you guys see a protein powder down the line, a BCA down the line? Is that something that's possible for Invisible Force?
Yeah, we definitely think that is down the line. You know, we want to have multiple options for the consumer. You know, it's a lot of people want variety, you know, to pick from, and that's how we're going to be able to scale the company as well. And, you know, maybe a cool like bundle pack, like, you know, you can get your pre-workout with your recovery, you know, so we also have it right here.
I love it. I love it. Hey, if you guys do this, I would like a little portion of it. RTDs will be huge for you guys, and I mean, fucked up. They have told me. Rise has told me these RTDs are the new wave, and let me tell you why. Because with these RTDs, you attract more than just that fitness industry. You attract people from all different kinds of, categories. You attract that regular, normal person just looking for an everyday pick-me-up or everyday this and that. So something like that will be huge if you guys have time to do that. I highly recommend it. Now, James, as I said, you are the youngest CEO I've talked to. And believe it or not, I have talked to actually a good amount of CEOs. So what is the process of starting your own supplement company like, man?
So I'm a sophomore in college right now. I'm studying some finance, and it really sparked me, when I was sitting there one day at my desk doing some homework, and I'm like, I need something. I love fitness. I love sports nutrition. I was like, I need to get talking with my boy Mark here. He works for a big supplement company, and so I was like, I know Mark has we could get a product going, and it just kind of came to us, and we worked a little thing out. And I think being young is honestly, I like to start young so I can grow and I can learn a lot about it. Honestly, being my own boss is the best thing ever. I go out, I work landscaping 40, 50 hours a week. And then right after that, from like 5 to 10, I just straight grind the company, do marketing research, how we can get the product out, jot down local gyms that we can give a call, get in there, get some demos going, let people try out the product. It's all about just getting our name out right now. And that's what we're really focusing on. And it's sweet to do this, while I'm going through college. I'm learning my classes and learning that, but I'm also focusing on what I love to do. And this is my passion now. And I love to help people. This is what I want. I want to bring this product to people because I believe in the formula behind it. And I truly personally love it. And I want everyone to experience that, and I just think it's great because a lot of kids my age, they struggle with a supplement they like, and it's hard for them to do the research. And I think as a kid my age, it's really, I think there's going to be a lot of bonds created with, kids my age that are like, wow, this kid's 19 and he's doing this, that's sweet.
I love it. I think there is a lot of potential for this product. And now, Mark, I've heard you've worked with some supplement brands that we are familiar with. Would you mind describing and talking about what you do?
Well, I have been, I've run some sales and marketing departments. I've been head of product development, not from a R&D perspective. I'm definitely not a chemist. But, product development and sort of end-to-end logistics. So I've really touched everything from traditional VMS, vitamins, minerals, and specialized supplements, all the way through sports nutrition for all ages, all channels. Certainly worked on really from behind the desk of a brand manager primarily. So I spent 15 years at a company before I left a few years ago to work on these EAAs. And so I just kind of felt like I could help mentor James a little bit. There's, I wish I was doing what he was doing. There's no better way to learn than to do. And so that's what motivates me to work with him. And the fact that I've, pardon me, done a little bit on all sorts of aspects of the business kind of gives me the confidence to help James, because it's not easy to source a product, to create a label, to work with R&D people, especially in today's supply chain. It's a nightmare. So, that's where I feel like I can help him and then stand back and stay out of the way.
I love it. We all need mentors in our life to be successful. And something I think Rich Gaspari, I don't even remember. Someone told me it was Ryan Lochte, 12-time Olympic swimmer. Learn from your coaches, ladies and gentlemen. Learn from your coaches, because most likely than not, these people have been through what you're going through. So I love that, Mark. Now, finally, James, this is a question for you. What is your biggest tip for someone looking to start their own company? And it does not have to be a supplement company, but from what you've learned so far, what is your biggest tip?
I would say my biggest tip is, I've done a lot of research and a lot of, what should I do it? I don't know if I want to make that jump. It's, I've listened to a lot of good podcasts. I love the podcast talking about motivational speakers, and it's all about the jump. If you never jump, you'll never know. So if you never take that risk, you'll never know the outcome. 5 years down the road, we could be sitting in, huge warehouse, this could be great, but if I didn't take the risk of doing this, I would have never known. So I think for anyone who is considering starting a business or going out for even like a team, or just, wanting to do something cool where they're kind of decisive, I would say try it. You'll never know how it will end if you don't. So you never know. There's a risk reward, but you'll never see the reward if you never take the risk. So,
and I think you put that perfectly, and I can relate. This show's been around for 2 months. We should not be getting the people that we are getting on this show. We should not be having $1 million CEOs or some of the best bodybuilders of all time. And to go back to what you said, James, believe in yourself at all times. Taking risks in life is what we're here for, but with those risks, you got to believe in that risk. Just like you believe that this product is that product. I believe this show is that show. If you're not believing in it, then there's no point of even doing it. You got to put your full effort into something like this. So I love what this brand stands for. I love, the science behind it. And to be honest with you, I'm going to say it. I think this brand will go places. I think you have a great team. I think you have a great product, and great teams and great products normally go far. So continue trusting the process, James. Love that process. Now, gentlemen, it has been an honor and privilege. You guys have so much to offer to this supplement company, or supplement industry that we all love and know. Now, gentlemen, are you guys down for some rapid fire questions before I get you out of here?
Let's go.
Do it.
Favorite invisible force flavor?
Oh, coastal berry all day. I love it. I love it's just all your berries at once just coming in, and it's just the favorite. It just goes down so smooth. It's my favorite. I can drink it all day.
Mark, are you a coastal berry kind of guy?
Well, I don't want to argue with the boss, but I got to go the other way with the tropical. That's my favorite.
All right. So we'll just say they're both good. How about that? We'll cross the line and say they're both good. No pre-workout for a year or no pump for a year?
Oh, gosh. I'd say no pre-workout for a year.
Yeah, I'm a pre-workout addict, so I couldn't do it. I start getting getting shaky even thinking about that question.
Mark, we're on the same question. James, I know you're a young dude, but come on, you gotta have a little more wisdom than that, man. If you get, James, I'm disappointed. It's always pre-workout.
I haven't reached that caffeine.
You're so young, you haven't even reached it yet. Don't take caffeine, James, until you're old like me and Mark. All right, come on now. Favorite kind of pizza?
Oh, I have to go with pepperoni.
Okay.
That's playing it safe. I'm going to set Twitter on fire and say ham and pineapple.
Oh, you see, there was such a debate about that, and honestly, I really love ham and pineapple on a pizza. I think it complements each other. And normally, I'm the person to hate fruit with something kind of that nature, but that is the one case where I'm fine with it. And you see, James, we just talked about risks. Pepperoni, really? Like, come on now. We're better than that. At least add like a specialized cheese to that.
Okay, I do like the goat cheese and
there we go.
Pepperoni.
That is very unique. Thank you. Golly. Have Jay Cutler. Actually, I'm going to change it. Have Kevin Levrone be a sponsored athlete for Invisible Force, or get Invisible Force into Vitamin Shop or GNC?
Oh, that's a tough question. Mark, you want to go first?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. I'm not taking the bait. I don't want this footage coming up if we ever get the chance to go into Vitamin Shop, and I think we might both plead the fifth.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We could say both. How about that?
Yeah, we can go both.
I like that. The last two questions are big ones on this show. Talk like Rocky for a year, or have to box Rocky Balboa in his prime.
Obviously, talk, dude. I would be dead in a minute.
But you see, if you,
I would have to get one of the bodybuilders on your. I'd have to make a little relationship with them first before I do that.
Yeah, I think I'd suffer my beatdown before I have to say Adrian, over and over.
Yeah, I like that. And I mean, to be honest, there's a good chance if you box Rocky Balboa, you might talk like him. So, and you get a payday.
That's true.
And you get a payday. I mean, these boxers are making money. And you get to say you went up against one of the greats of all time. Last one, gentlemen. This is going to decide who you are. Pull-ups or chin-ups?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to go.
Right answer.
I'm gonna have to go with the pull-ups. I do love the pull-ups.
That is the correct answer. I mean, we are talking with the minds behind Invisible Force. Gentlemen, it has been an honor and privilege. But before we go, the floor is yours. Where can we find your content? Where can we find Invisible Force? Where can we find it? The floor is yours.
Yeah, so we have an Instagram. It's invisibleforce.co. And then we also have our website. It's invisibleforcenutrition.com. Definitely should go check those out. We're posting daily our updates on the company, any cool demos or any new updates. If you go there, that's where they will be.
And I mean, James, if you need a model to rock an invisible shirt and just flex on your page, let me know. I'd be more than happy to do it, or get one of my friends who are these names to do it for you. Guys, do not forget to go check out, Invisible Force. This is a brand with so much potential, a true underdog in the industry right now. But they will be a hungry dog soon because they do have a lot to offer. But, gentlemen, again, it has been such an honor and privilege. But please check out their content. You know what I'm going to do? If someone buys an Invisible Force Co. product, I will have a very nice present for you. That is what I would do. A signed signature from one of the guests I've had on this show. So send me a DM. I'll make it happen. Get some of the top product in the industry. But until next time, guys, Underdog out.
Thanks.